I've lived through wars, economic crises, the rise of technology, and the loss of many people I loved. But the greatest lesson life ever taught me was about marriage. I was married for 72 years, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's that most people completely misunderstand what makes a marriage last. In fact, the advice I'm about to give you might surprise you, because it's the opposite of what most people believe. So if you want a marriage that lasts not just years, but a lifetime, listen carefully. The beginning of my marriage. I met my wife when I was 21 years old. Back then, life was simple. There were no smartphones, no social media, no dating apps, just conversations. We met at a small town gathering. She was laughing with her friends, and something about that laugh caught my attention. It wasn't just beautiful, it was genuine. That night we talked for hours, about dreams, about family, about the kind of life we hoped to build someday. And before I even realized it, I had fallen in love. The reality no one talks about. But here's something young couples rarely hear. Love is not what keeps a marriage alive. Let me repeat that. Love alone is not enough. In the early years, love feels powerful. Everything feels exciting. Every conversation feels meaningful. But life eventually changes. Bills arrive. Work becomes stressful. Children are born. Responsibilities grow. And slowly, the butterflies disappear. This is the moment when many marriages begin to struggle, because people think the feeling of love should last forever. But real marriage is not built on feelings. It's built on choices. The first big lesson. The most important lesson I learned about marriage is this. Choose each other every single day. Not just when things are easy, not just when you feel romantic, but especially when things become difficult. Because there will be days when you argue, days when you misunderstand each other, days when you feel exhausted. But the couples who last a lifetime are not the ones who avoid problems. They are the ones who choose to stay, listen, and work through them. The hard years. Our marriage wasn't perfect, not even close. There were years when money was tight, years when work kept me away from home, years when we lost people we loved. And there were moments when we argued about things that seemed important at the time, but later felt small. But one thing we never allowed ourselves to do was treat each other like enemies. You see, many couples forget something very important. When you argue, the goal is not to win the argument. The goal is to protect the relationship. Respect matters more than love. Here's a piece of advice that may surprise you. Respect matters more than love. Love is a feeling. Respect is a decision. When you respect someone, you listen. You speak carefully. You avoid hurting them intentionally. In our marriage, we made a simple rule. Never insult each other. Never embarrass each other. And never speak words that cannot be taken back. Because words, once spoken, stay in someone's heart forever. The secret most couples ignore. After 72 years of marriage, people often asked us, "What's your secret?" They expected some complicated answer, but the truth was simple. Kindness. Small acts of kindness every day. A smile in the morning, a simple thank you, a hug after a long day. These tiny moments might seem unimportant, but over decades, they build something powerful. They create a relationship where both people feel safe, and safety is the foundation of love. The biggest mistake couples make. Let me tell you the biggest mistake I see today. People expect their partner to make them happy. But happiness is not something another person can give you. It's something you must bring into the relationship yourself. Two unhappy people cannot create a happy marriage. But two people who support each other, encourage each other, and grow together can build something extraordinary. The power of patience. Another lesson life taught me is patience. Your partner will change. You will change. Life will change. But change is not the enemy. Growth is part of every long marriage. The person you marry at 25 will not be the same person at 45, or 65, or 85. And that's okay. Because real love means learning to fall in love with each new version of them, again and again and again. Never stop laughing. One thing that helped our marriage survive difficult times was laughter. We laughed about silly things. We laughed about mistakes. We laughed even during stressful moments. Because laughter reminds you that life is not meant to be taken too seriously. And sometimes a shared laugh can solve problems that arguments cannot. Time is the greatest gift. When you're young, you think you have endless time. You believe tomorrow will always be there. But at 95 years old, I can tell you something important. Time is the most valuable thing you will ever have, and the people you love are the most valuable part of that time. So don't wait to show appreciation. Don't wait to say sorry. Don't wait to say, I love you. Because one day, you will wish for just one more moment. The final advice. If I could give young couples one final piece of advice, it would be this. Marriage is not about finding the perfect person. It's about learning to love an imperfect person perfectly. There will be disagreements. There will be challenges. But if you build your marriage on respect, kindness, patience, and friendship, you will create something stronger than any problem life brings. Closing. I'm 95 years old now. My wife is no longer here, but every morning I still think about her, about the laughter, the memories, the life we built together. And if I had the chance to live my life again, I would choose her every single time. Because the greatest success of my life was not money or achievements or anything else. It was the love we shared for 72 years.